AMD, I have a similar outlook as a main three. Last I checked in your asset, behind Nvidia. Yet a top player. There's a major hole between the income we're supposed to see from AMD this evening, however, and Nvidia. So how would they satisfy these principles? Well, AMD is an altogether different story. Oliver, while Nvidia is now a ways into its cycle, for GPUs, AMD is at the lower part of their cycle. So they make server farm chips, as well as they're presented to client, like PCs, as well as gaming and implanted chips that go in a wide range of ventures, and those have truly seen and gone through a major slump. And we're searching for those to base the server farm portion. We're quite certain we convey areas of strength for exceptionally and notwithstanding GPUs, which is what everyone has been amped up for. That is the Milano, the MM300, GPU notwithstanding that we accept. They will serious areas of strength for convey areas of strength for two. Focus income, by and large. AMD additionally detailed income after the bail income, and incomes beat gauges. Yet gaming and inserted section incomes declined year over year, and AMD gave direction for second quarter income in accordance with numerous assumptions. AMD just revealed its 2024 quarter one outcomes, and the numbers profoundly shocked financial backers, since they were marginally higher than anticipated, beating examiners' evaluations of an income of $5.45 billion and an EPS of 61 cents. AMD revealed an income of $5.47 billion, and EPS came in at 62 cents. So it's an extremely slight beat here. Yet in general, the numbers were exceptionally in accordance with what was generally anticipated from the organization. Regardless of this, AMD stock responded adversely to the income dropping 7% in expanded exchanging. And to figure out why this happened, we need to go through the organization's profit report and figure out what these numbers mean for the organization and stock financial backers. Yet before we go into AMD's profit, if you have any desire to stay aware of AMD's most recent updates and stay aware of the financial exchange's most recent news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post on various occasions every day about the greatest changes and impetuses on the lookout. So click the follow button to miss the freshest market refreshes now. Back to the present video, searching for the discourse around what they see for artificial intelligence. How much might they, at any point, sell us on that, as of now? When their normal development is as yet single digits, the several quarters out as per the expert evaluations I'm viewing at. I mean, would it be a good idea for them? They even be in a similar discussion as a very miniature or Nvidia very miniature will give us 200% this midday. Well, Oliver, to my earlier point, they just entered this market. So I accept, yes, they ought to be in this BU market since they can catch a really huge size of the market given the item they've presented and the arrangement that we see ahead. So the point here is that you're going from near 0 to 10 in addition to billion of incomes over an exceptionally brief time frame. So this year, the organization directed to 3.5 billion of computer-based intelligence or GPU incomes, and that is going from 0 last year. So on the off chance that they forge ahead with that development, way man-made intelligence could be a genuine driver for themselves. And one thing that I would add is that assumptions few months prior lost track of the main issue at hand, where financial backers anticipated that 3.5 should be more similar to 7 or 8. Those assumptions have now essentially descended, for the most part due to individuals are worried about supply limitations and whether they will have the option to get sufficient memory and bundling. So those assumptions have truly drawn down more like 5.5, 6 billion, which is, as we would like to think, entirely reachable for the organization's quarter one outcomes. AMD's income was up around 2%. From a year sooner, the organization detailed overall gain of $123 million versus a total deficit of $139 million, or 9C for each offer. During a similar period in the earlier year, the chipmaker said its firmly watched server farm fragment developed 80% year more than year to $2.3 billion on account of deals of its Me 300 series AN chips, which are intended to rival Nvidia's designs handling units. President Lisa Su said that Microsoft, Meta, and Profit utilize AMD's MI300X adding VET. AMD had sold more than $1 billion of the chips since it sent off in the final quarter of 2023. This drove the organization to raise its figure for ME300X deals, saying that it expects $4 billion out of 2024 simulated intelligence chip deals, up from a $3.55 billion estimate it had made in January. In the meantime, AMD's unique business processes for chips and laptops announced $1.4 billion in quarter one, deals at 85%, disheartening financial backers. There are different purposes for the stock dropping after profit, and we will investigate them now. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Investra. So, in Cutting Edge Miniatures case, there is still a drag from the more repeating heritage equipment PC items. Like in 2, like what we see in Intel numbers. It actually has a portion of that stuff that is keeping down the top line. While the center man-made intelligence development ought to be there, do you anticipate that they should truly isolate at that out? Will they give us like a proper computer-based intelligence? Just number. Definitely, totally. They break out that they're fragments pretty well, where they not just give a man-made intelligence number or a GPU number, they additionally give a server farm number that incorporates their different chips that they're offering to the server farm section. So that is the very thing that we're searching for to learn at on the procuring scale. Something else that we're exceptionally centered around is the way rapidly might they at any point currently acquaint another chip with stay aware of Nvidia's item in row. I think one thing about Nvidia that individuals missed or didn't see the value in enough is the way they changed their item presentation cycle from 2 or more years to 1 year. And that makes it somewhat more provoking for organizations to contend. Organizations like AMD. So AMD declared their chip this year. Currently, we're now searching for them to think of another chip. For the following year, to contend with the Blackwell chip kid appears to be a ton. I mean, look, it sounds exceptionally thrilling, yet additionally appears to be a ton. To ask, looking such a long ways into the future for an organization up 80% in the previous year, exchanging at a 44 times forward, following 250. I mean, how much do they need to destroy this? Ivana, is there any concern that fixation in these chips, on the off chance that there's failure, will hit your asset and reclaim a portion of the enormous additions that you've had? Well, Oliver, we are truly centered around basics. And according to Key Viewpoint, it's typical to see organizations exchange at high products where their profit are at the lower part of the cycle. So that gives us certainty on the valuation side. And afterward, assuming you take a gander at the profit gauges during the current year. Not for this quarter, for the entire year, for AMD individuals are expecting not many billion-dollar improvement over